Hello, it's Christmas Eve, and what's become a tradition, like the King's speech or the Queen's speech, um, we use this opportunity to look back about at the year and see how great we've been. So, each year we try to make the Urban Tango Nights experience a little bit better than the year before, and considering we've had 2 years of COVID, to be honest, it wasn't that difficult this
No.
year. Um, but let's have a look back at what we've done this year. So this is not going to be any type of order. We're going to try and keep the video quite short and try not to ramble too much. So let's start back in January. At January, Omicron was quite prevalent in the UK. We'd gone back into lockdown, so we were back to running our classes online.
It doesn't feel like that was this year, does it? It
No.
feels really odd to think that where we are now versus where we started the year. It's quite crazy, really.
And I suppose the biggest difference was that I'm now a professional tango teacher and dancer. So I draw quite a lot of my income now from actually teaching dance and teaching tango and doing tango events. I suppose that's been the main difference this year, that we now have to commercialise the club. So what happened in January? We were at venue number 1. It was a venue that did its purpose. It's got us back into running in-person classes, but it never really worked too well for us. It's a bit out of town, so it's difficult for people to know where it was.
People didn't know where it was. It's not on a particularly regular bus route. So if you didn't drive, it wasn't. It was good to maintain, but it wasn't It wasn't really the space that we needed to grow in.
Yeah, we wanted to really grow the club this year. After COVID, the Welsh tango scene has been decimated.
Most of them, really.
Most of it, but the Welsh tango scene wasn't particularly strong to begin with, and now there's even less dancers. So to try and actually build sustainable events and classes, we need to concentrate on getting new people into the dance. So what we did was we moved back to town. We moved initially to HQ Urban Kitchen, which was a new venue, and that's where we held our Monday evening classes. And we started running a 6-week beginner course there. And that worked out really well. Got lots of new people starting tango with us, and quite a few of them have continued actually staying with tango as well. So we ended up running 2 of those 6-week beginner courses and having a couple of weeks in between as well. So I think we were there for about 15 weeks. As I say, that we got some new dancers in. People enjoyed it. It was a nice venue. Again, because we're trying to commercialise the class, though, the main issue was just the cost of hire, and also at that time of the year, which was around the summer, you always get a drop off in numbers, and you in the UK, obviously inflation was starting to really take off by then, which was reducing people's disposable income to spend on dance. So we wanted to go back to trying to run the class for free by donations, so everybody gets a chance to dance, which has been one of the main ethoses of Urban Tango Nights. So we ended up moving to the Taliesin, and we've been there ever since, and that's actually worked out incredibly well. We've really now managed to get a really strong core. We've started attracting new students, plus just people from the general public as well, who've wanted to come along. And I think one of the real measures of success is that last week, which was our last class, we were disappointed because we only had 14 people there.
Well, no, I just assumed, thinking, not that many people turn up. It's the Monday before. It was only 5 days ago, and then it's basically nearly full. Really.
But again, when you have when you're there at a number with. Before we would have been really happy to get 14 in a class. Now it's like half the number that we would normally get. So our building of the class has really worked. Obviously, the lunchtime class is still ticking over. Next year, we're going to make a bit more of a push on that to get some more people coming to the lunchtime class. What we've also introduced this year is the Thursday practicas.
Yes. Which sort of evolved.
It evolved. So initially, we decided to. People were asking us that they wanted an extra chance to dance tango in Swansea, and we decided to offer them that by giving them the Thursday class. So the idea was that we'd have a tango class followed by a blues class and then a bit of practice time. The blues class didn't really work. Swansea isn't ready for blues. We had hoped that with people returning to dance, they would want to try a new dance. We're also hoping that like sort of schrock modern jive dancers would want to come along and try blues. It never really happened, and what he ended up doing was putting off some tango dancers as well who didn't want to.
Yeah, because they just sort of leave after before when the tango finished, sort of leave and not do the blues. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some just wouldn't come because there was a blues class.
Yeah.
So we ended up just turning the Thursday into a practica, and if we had a lot of new people come in, we would run a mini class.
Yeah.
And that's been building well. We get people from the Monday class, and we got some people who can just come to the Thursday. So yeah, that's nice. Keep that going next year. In terms of events, we did run our Create Malonga throughout the year. That was a bit sporadic due to illnesses and just other things going on. So we had planned to run one every other month. Can't remember if we ran one in February. I don't think we did because of the COVID issue. Then we had one in April, I think. We missed the one in June because of another event we were running. August we ran, October we ran, and then we also ran like a sort of Christmas party one. And again, we get an increase in numbers. What we really want to do is encourage people from Cardiff to travel from Swansea. There's always been a problem with the dance scene in Wales, is that people don't want to travel west.
No.
And we really want to encourage that. So we think that there's a Swansea tango scene, there's a Cardiff tango scene, but really there's a South Wales tango scene.
Yeah.
You really have to combine the two together to make a really successful event.
Yeah.
So we really do want to get that idea of people travelling. And that led us to actually start running monthly events in Machen, which is just north of Cardiff.
Where we are right now.
Actually, the hall is just over there. So the idea of the Machen events was that there's only one really good Malonga in Cardiff at the moment, which is the Pontcanna on the fourth Sunday of the month. And there's one class. And people have been asking us for years to run events in Cardiff. And we saw the opportunity. We got an opportunity to get a good hire on a hall. So yeah, we've obliged with that. So Cardiff now has 2 opportunities for people to dance quality tango. So throughout next year, we're going to be continuing to run on the second Saturday of the month. It also means we can go to South Bank in Bristol on the Friday and make it
combine it one tango weekend.
So those have been going well. We started off with a workshop. It's a bit of time just to start building the house.
Definitely.
I think there's always going to be that sort of bit of apprehensive when there's a new tango, well, especially when an existing tango club from somewhere else starts running events somewhere else. There's always a little bit of apprehension about it, but we're starting to break through that, and also we're starting to attract people from Bristol and Gloucester down. Need to work a bit on the workshops, like trying to get some good workshop titles.
Yeah, because it's sort of changed, hasn't it? What types of workshops we've run beforehand. But it's one of those things you just keep experimenting until it works. Really.
So we're trying to pick workshops that would benefit the people in the Cardiff tango scene. So obviously we go to Malongas, we see what people. This is true for any of our workshops. We go and see Malongas, we see what people are struggling with, and therefore we put on those. Whether it actually attracts the people that we're seeing struggling is another matter. But yeah, it's definitely something that we're going to be continuing next year. And also, this was all building up to the end of year event, which was the Welsh International Tango Festival, which we did hold part of it in Machen because we had the band coming over from Spain with Christian, Fernando, and Dario.
Because 4 days wasn't enough.
No, 4 days is not enough for the Welsh Tango scene. We held the concert in Machen, or Lower Machen, and that went down really well.
Yes, yeah.
Lots of people come in to experience tango for the first time, or tango music for the first time. And also interested in our events for next year in Machen, hence why we're doing an Introduction to Tango workshop in January on the 14th. The festival is obviously the best tango festival in the UK.
Well, if you want to see, we've got a reflection on that and a separate YouTube video which you can go and watch.
But obviously if you want to have a tango festival with lots of live music, world-class teachers, friendly atmosphere, you're not going to get any better.
And basically nearly the full detail is up for next year's festival on our website. Yeah.
So festival went really well. People really enjoyed themselves. We were hoping to get more numbers this year, but again with the cost of living, it's putting a few people off. Brexit hasn't helped. We did have people from abroad, but we're not getting the numbers from abroad that we would really like. So that's something to work on. But yeah, it was good. Looking forward to next year. And the other big news for this year is that we ran a May International Quality event, which was the Welsh Tango Spring Weekender. We had Mika and Christian come over for this first time. Thank you, Drew and Taryn from Paisley Tango for introducing us.
Yes.
Really good weekend. Christina, and Andreas of Tango Del Mar played for us. Sean DJ'd for us. Unfortunately, Lorenzo was ill with COVID, so wasn't unable to make it. But Anna Myers from Phoenix Tango and Milton Keynes Tango, I'm not quite sure what their names are these days, but she stepped in to DJ, and it was a really good event. So.
And we had Eduardo too.
And we had Eduardo, yes.
Don't forget about Eduardo.
Eduardo, the staple of all Welsh Tango events. Welsh Tango, by the way, is not just Tango events in Wales, it's specifically the ones that we run, which are the international events.
Yes.
So the Welsh Tango refers to the Spring Weekend with the festival, not just events happening in Wales. So it's almost like a separate club name for us.
Yeah.
What else did we do this year? Oh, we did a few demos and performances.
Yes,
We did the Latin and Iberian back in May.
Yes.
That was good.
Yeah.
Videos again, look through our demo list. Got to make some new contacts and worked really well because people enjoyed our performance so much that we got invited to the food festival 2 days later in Lethley to dance there. And that was really difficult.
It was really difficult.
The floor was rubberised.
Yeah, it was a platform, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And,
And also we ran the tracks straight one after the other.
we were knackered. Yeah. Should have added some silence tracks.
Yeah. But the food was really good there.
Yes, it was. It was really nice.
For an international food festival, their food was good.
Yes, yeah. Well, it was just a nice experience because there was so many different, cultures and stuff around the room, and it was a nice experience.
Yeah. And once again, we were asked to be part of the Swansea Learning Festival.
Yes.
And that
was really good.
Yeah, really good. Danced with Mirabelle and
who we have
Elsa
and Ariel.
Yep.
And Super Mario.
Yeah. And Sparkles the Unicorn.
Sparkles the Unicorn.
Yeah. Bit of advice: never dance with a unicorn; you get horned in the head.
But yeah, that was really good fun actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that was nice. Again, spreading tango to the people of Swansea. We didn't do as much guest teaching this year as we probably want to, just because we spent too much time running other events. So hopefully next year we'll step up to do that. We did go and teach for Eclipse Tango in Harlow. That was a lot of fun. And also did some DJing for Tango Libre in Exeter as well, which again that was really nice to do. Learned some lessons about DJing. Make sure you've got every single possible cable combination that you can think of. Because everybody gets different sound systems, and some of them have very strange connections to it. That was Tango Libre. Hopefully we might go back and do some more DJing for them this year. Have got more DJing before the year's out on the 30th with the free band Malonga in Bristol. Anyway, I think that's about it.
I think so. We've probably forgotten something.
But,
we did write it on the whiteboard at home, and then we're now not at home. So.
But I think one thing we do want to say is thank you to everybody who supported us this year. Your support has really meant a lot for us. There's always people in the tango scene that will try to put you down. But
I think that's the same in life.
That's the same in life. But I think the support that you guys have given us has really outweighed that massively.
Oh yeah.
And has really helped, especially for such a stressful year for us on a personal level. So we want to really thank you for that. And we hope to see you next year. So with that, we have to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and we'll do another video next week, or I might write it, saying what we've got coming up next year for you to look forward to.
What we hope to achieve.
Yeah. So if you're travelling, keep yourself safe, and we'll see you very, very soon.